Hey, grab a lily pad, get comfy. You stumbled into Izumi's nail garden. Let's do some nail art together. So starting up, I'm going right in with Sean's Legend. I believe that's how you say the name. The shade is Chef's Kiss. This is a nice sheer pink, just to give a little bit of a natural base. I'm gonna leave the tips clear. I'm gonna be sculpting, I want to say like an octopus tentacle or just a monster tentacle. I wanted to do something kind of cutesy and fun for Halloween. So not too much on the spooky side, but just kind of giving a little bit of monster high. If you remember some of the older like Bratz movies, maybe some of those vibes, but just something very fun and still colorful, but on the more festive end. Halloween is one of my favorite holidays, and I haven't been able to celebrate for the last few years, so I've been a bit bummed out. So I figured I would try to get back in the spirits through my favorite, expressive art with my nails. But I'm gonna just go ahead and cure that first coat, and I'll be right back. Okay, just want to preface the next step by saying I should definitely be wearing gloves. Though this is supposedly a skin-safe gel formula, none of this technically is skin safe. You are opening yourself up to risk of allergy when you do get this on skin. I definitely recommend using gloves and use tools you can. Keep this away from your skin. I went to school. I've been doing this for about 6 years. I know the risk. For DIYers and those without the educational background, definitely do your research on products you're using, making sure they are lower in HEMA. And there is another chemical compound that I cannot remember the name of right now. I will try to put it on the screen if I can remember or find it during my research. Being as this wasn't introduced to me during my schooling and something that's been more of a newer risk that we've been made aware of in recent years. Okay. I don't know why my palette was being super duper drippy, so I ended up having to use my hands and my nail tips to get it up on the nail, but I did go back in with the angled end, not the rounded point, but the angled end to get this flush with the nail. That way I'm keeping the nail shape and keeping it comfortable for daily wear, so there's not too much overage on the actual 3D design. You can see the gel's kind of just falling off of the nail tip there. I did dip this in some alcohol to kind of break the tackiness and get it away from the actual nail. Alright, I got those first two squiggles on the nails. I'm gonna flash color this really quick, and then I'm gonna flash forward a bit so I don't bore y'all too much. And I will catch you back in a few moments. Yeah? Okay, moving right along, I have one of my favorite gel palettes. This is the Gelish Cream Neons. I will be using the Neon Pink for the base of this tentacle, and then going back in with a sheer blue by Mark Art Pro, which is a glass kind of sheer jelly color. A lot of this next clip ended up being out of frame. I do apologize, but I was just trying to be really detailed and get into all the edge pieces and make sure that I had pretty even coverage for this. I'm just gonna speed through here and I will catch y'all back in a bit. After I cure that for 60 seconds just to make sure I fully cured, being as this cream gel, it was a little bit thicker than the gel polish would be. I have my Zanist, I believe is how you pronounce it. They're chrome proof matte velvet top coat. Just going over that gel design and over the base as well, just to make sure I'm not getting any of the design polishes on my plain glass base that I wanted to have. After I cured that matte top coat for 60 seconds, I'm grabbing my Mark Art Pro. They have a sheer jelly blue. I'm just going to use that to add the inner tentacle design where the actual suction would be, if that makes sense. You'll see in the next step. Just adding some more detail to that 3D sculpted work that I did. But yeah, again, going to fast forward y'all. Don't want to bore you. I'll be right back and catch you guys in a bit. When I'm doing detail work, I tend to just not have a setup right now. I'm trying to figure out a good angle for you all to be able to see what I'm actually doing the full way through. I just have not figured it out yet. So work with your girl. Work with Faye. Okay? I'll get there. I'll get there. Just stick through with the girl. I'll be back though. I will be back. Alright, I am back. You can see where we're at. I did cure that for another 30 seconds. With the thinner coats, you don't necessarily need to cure that long. I just like to make sure things are fully cured before I move on to the next step to prevent myself a headache of fixing the design later. But I'm just grabbing some paint gel, this is white, I'm just going to go ahead and grab my double-sided brush there that has the dotting tool to grab some little suction cups on the back and then cure that again for a full 60 seconds. These gel paints can be a bit thicker, so sometimes it does take a little extra curing time just to get it fully through. And you also want to be careful that you're applying thinner coats when it comes to these. Again, I do apologize that a lot of this did end up off of screen. I try to keep myself in focus, but when you are doing detail work, you know how easy it is to get locked in and just end up like leaned all the way up on your hands, especially when you are doing your own nails. I'm hoping that y'all are able to still catch on to some of the processes and that I'm making it really thorough for you. If you have any requests or anything I can be doing better for y'all, and just leave it in the comments. Your girl is open to criticism. This is only my second video, but stick through and it's only going up from here. I'm gonna fast forward now. Alright, just so y'all can see where we're at, we got those little suction cups going, and now I'm going ahead and grabbing some charms. I have this little cute skull rhinestone. There's this little alien eyeball monster anime-ish creature charm, and I have my matte top coat by Fizzaness. I can't stop feeling like Nemo from that scene where he's like, see you never know, and they're like, don't hurt yourself, kid. But yeah, just going ahead and matte top coating the nail again so I have a clean base, and then I do end up usually buffing this and wiping it down with some alcohol off screen, but that is not technically a necessary step. A lot of people don't find that they need to do it. I just like to have a nice slip proof canvas, but I'm going to cure that and I'm going to be right back and pop these charms on for you. So I did go ahead and grab my gem picker, and I did end up grabbing these studs as well. These are actually pretty sharp, so if you use these, I do recommend like top coating them just so you're not scratching yourself or stabbing yourself too much. I did go ahead and grab my nail file, my electric nail file, specifically with a sanding bit. This was a tip that I've learned from other techs over the years, is filing the back of your heavier charms will heat them and make them a little more adhesive. With metal charms, it is a little harder to get them to actually bend. I've done this in the past with these charms and accidentally popped out the eyeballs. I'm just being a little more delicate with this, but buffing out the back of these gems just to give them a longer chance of gripping to the gel and really sticking to the nail. Also, top coating around the edges of these will help seal them in really good. I haven't lost a charm in a really long time using this method, so definitely recommend. And then last but not least for this step, I have my gummy jelly. I cannot remember what specific brand this is. I've got this a few years ago. It is at the end of its shelf life. I barely have any left in the container. I've been using this for personal use, not on my clients, just because I know expiration dates play a part in product performance, so I don't want to open up anybody else to the risk of using this, but it has been a safe sake. I've been using it for the longest time, and it holds onto those gems a little differently. I haven't found anything like it since. I'm gonna just go on ahead and pop those gems on there. I am gonna flash forward so you guys don't get too bored watching me work. If you guys have any recommendations for what else you want to see on this channel, like I said, your girl is all open to requests and criticism. I will work out getting better angles for you guys. I hope you stick through, continue to vibe out with your girl, and just explore a bit. I will be back at the end with results, and I hope you guys have a fantastic day, evening, night, week, year, lifetime. But come back and hang out. But yeah, I just want to say peace, more love, more life. Bye.